you're looking to use some custom templates or you want to have projects that you can easily recreate, then check out this video. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to do it and some ways that I have gone about it. And I think that it's handy to do. So let me move my head over here so it's not in the way. And I want to show you there's a couple different ways to do this. And just right up front to let you know, I'm going to focus more on duplicating things within Todoist. There's a bunch of great videos out there. If you're interested more in exporting and doing things like that, I will show you how to do it. But the focus is going to be on keeping things in Todoist, not dealing with CSV files as much, things like that. So two different ways you can do this. I'm down here looking at my projects, right? We can expand that. And what I've done is set it up two different ways. I have, just for an example, a daily review that I have labeled template. That's the name of the project. And I've just put some simple things in here, like reviewing your calendar is good for a daily review. Reviewing maybe if you have a notebook and moving any tasks into Todoist or whatever your electronic manager is. Again, this isn't meant to be, hey, this is a great daily review. This is just an example of creating a custom project that I can use. And then answering daily review questions. That's something I do either in a Google form or in a tool I'm developing. And then setting the goals for the day in the notebook. Now, what you can do from here is a couple of things. If you want to, you could create it or duplicate it rather, so that you have this as a template, and templates are generally meant to be duplicated, not edited directly. So an example you could do is just to duplicate it and use it there. That's one way. And this might be really good for areas that you want that are not recurring on a regular basis. And I'll show you why. If you want to have a regularly recurring task or something with subtasks, you can easily put that into your inbox and have that take place there. Sorry about that. Let me get this back in there. And then I am going to just continue to click on the wrong thing. Let me move. There we go. Okay, so what are some options you have when you have it as a project? Right? You can duplicate it. You could create a link to it. You can export as CSV. So this might be something where perhaps you could you're hitting up against your project limits, or it's something you don't need all the time. So you could export as CSV so that you could then re-import it as a CSV if you need to have it like that. There's a few things you could do to make things easier for yourself. So if you come over here, we can see the same thing. Basically, you just get the same options, just in case you were wondering. Okay, so let's take a look. Now, templates. This is one I made where instead of having one project equals one template, we have one project equals many templates. Now, this works if you're okay with having subtasks. In here, I've built out the exact same thing where we have the daily review, and your subtasks are those same things: review the calendar, review the notebook, answer daily questions, and set the goals for the day. Now, what you could do here is we can do the same thing where you could duplicate it. Okay, so we see it again, and then we could click on it and move to, and now we can put it into places like your inbox. And from there, let's go into the inbox. You can see here that it has popped up. I'll explain this top one in a minute, but we can expand or contract that. Now you have it in your inbox. You can go through and do that. Now, this is a good and bad example. So it's a good example of how you can quickly create these little templates and use them. But also for this, you would probably just want to create it in and have it as a recurring task. So what I've done there is just create this, the same thing, and I just set it as daily. So for example, I could go up here and write something like every weekday, and then save it again, and then that will recur every weekday, which is what that other one had. So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to discard and close that, but that way you can see that that happens. So that might be something you want to do instead. Whereas for project templates like this, create a YouTube video, you might want to have, this is something where you could come in here and then you could duplicate it and move it where you need it. That could be something that's more handy for something that's not always, on a certain date or time. A good way to do that. So if you do it this way though, although you get now the projects, you don't take up a ton of projects, but let's see what the options look like over here. We can see, again, let me move. And you have a few less. So you basically can move to and duplicate, or you can copy the link to, right? So you're a little bit more constrained in what you can do. But for simple things like this, I find it nice. You just have one place for your templates. and you can really easily do this. So that, I think, is a good 2 ways to go about this, and just realizing what might be the best for yourself is kind of choosing whether to have a project with many templates or to have a project as a template. And probably just depends on the size, the scope, and kind of how often this stuff recurs. So if you have any questions about using these or your custom templates in Todoist, just let me know and I'll get back to you.